Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our next keynote speaker for today. Make welcome Kachi Kalu. A round of applause for her. I think that we need to clap better. Please put your hands together for her. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us at ThinkUX 2025. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I know that you have someone, your friend, somewhere at the back trying to make money for you for your dirty December. I know. And me too. I'm praying. I have somebody there. Because without the money, how are we going to party this December? Right. So it's so nice to meet you all. I want to thank the organizers for having this event, because this is one event that is solely for user experience, right? You have Dev Fest, you have different programs, right? But this is one that really speaks solely to user experience and how users use products. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So thank you, everyone. And thank you for waiting. It's not easy. This is Lagos. So my name is Lady Kachi, and I used to be called the UX lady. Still kind of, the UX lady thing. And I am one person that I would say understands user experience solely. When I started off as a user experience designer, even before I learned how to design. So I was more about knowing how well a user can use an app rather than how the app is being designed. And so I was able to train over 4,000 people on user experience. Do you all understand? So I think I'm the best person to talk about the topic that I have here, that is user experience for non-tech sector. How many of us are designers for fintechs? Designers for fintechs. Oh, nice. Designers for health techs. No health tech. Designer for health tech. Nice. Designer for e-commerce. We have e-commerce. Nice, e-commerce. Designers for social tech, dating apps. Okay, we have, nice. Designers for environmental, nobody. Designers for oil and gas. Nobody in oil and gas. Okay. So you would, designers for insurance, insurtech. Whether car insurance, gadget insurance, any kind of insurance. Nobody. So, I wish, okay. Why are you showing my slides like this? Okay, thank you. So we're talking about UX in a non-tech industry. There was a time all of us here in Nigeria, you buy a drug and you think the drug is automatically fake. True or true? You buy the drug, whether you buy it from a pharmacy or you buy it from the roadside vendor, you just think the drug is fake. And then the Nigerian sector said, how do I better this thing? How do I make sure that people take drugs and they know where this drug is coming from? How many of us scratch that thing on your Amatem pack? You don't scratch it? You do? How many of you do? You scratch it and you do the USSD to the number and you will wait so that they will affirm that the drug is original for you to take it. Have people just be drinking the medicine like that? If I perish, I perish. That's what you have been doing. No, because that's wrong. That's what they have decided to use to combat those people that do the drugs, under the bridge. So if you scratch the card, you would be able to see if the drug you're taking is original or not. And that is one way that they have combated user experience. Now, like I teach, or like I say when I teach, user experience is not all about apps. User experience is not all about apps. If you have been in my class, you will have heard me use this analogy. If there is a fine girl, I'm going to paint it out to you guys. If there is a fine girl, let's say his name is Tunde. Tunde is a Nigerian-based product designer. And Tunde's friend calls him and says, Tunde, what's up? I'm coming for dirty December. I need one babe I can go out with. Oh. Tunde now says, I don't get babe, but I go help you find, right? Tunde goes to the club or goes to a lounge And he sees this very fine girl. Let's call her Kachi, right? And Tunde says, hi, Kachi, hi, what's up? Can I know you? And Kachi says, from where? Are you okay? Do you know me? Am I your type? Get out. Now, he's not able to get a girl. He's able to get Kachi. And then he goes over to Linda and says, hi, my name. And Linda says, hi, hope you're good. And then they catch up. Now, his friend comes, let's call his friend Joseph. So Joseph comes back from the UK and they go to that same club. And at that club, Joseph sees Kachi. Kachi walks by with her big bum bum. And Joseph says, hello, see that fine girl now. What if you are Tunde? What will you tell Joseph? No, what will you tell Joseph? No, talk now with boldness. No go area. Is that all? Nice. Bad product. Then if he says, okay, what about this person that is Linda? What will you tell him? Good product. That's how user experience is. User experience does not have to be an app. It is your character. Your character is user experience. We're talking about how you interact with people, interface, that you are able to go through one process to this process without issues. Now, in a place as steep as Africa, where for you to even do OTP is a problem, they will send that OTP to 1,000 people. 1,000 people are trying to log into your app at the same time. Problem. How do you do user experience? Now, there's something that I would want to talk about. I think it's on my slide. The industries today that we're talking about before I go further, healthcare, agri-tech, education, banking, manufacturing, FMCGs, the public sector, and logistics. These are businesses that are non-tech. Now, we have to go outside and bring tech and infuse tech into them to make it feel easier. When was the last time you went to the bank? If you have ever gone, the last time I went to the bank, I cried. I stood my life. What was I trying to do? Change my name. Somebody added S to my name. And then if obviously there's S on your name, you can't do anything in your account. Everything was locked. Everything was cancelled. Now I had to wait in queue. User experience. What if I went there and like the machines that we have now, right, that you use to dispense your ATM, you can go there and log your complaint. Log your complaint there. They say, okay, correct the name, insert this, scan this, and in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I am done. I would not have to spend hours in the queue. This is what I call user experience in the non-tech world. I need you, as you're seated there now, as product designers, I know we're freaking tired. I need you to think of the products you're currently building and how you can design that product for Africans with the minimalist tech, so minimal that you can think of. That small MVP. When I was coming here today, I said I was coming to talk to senior designers. No shades on junior designers, because there are some of the things you say junior designers do not understand and might not grasp till maybe 2 years. Yeah, I know, I was going to get that. But it is the truth. If we're talking about user experience, you need to understand that there are levels of user experience. There's a level of designing a fintech. There's a level of designing a core banking. This user experience is totally different. And that is how I'm telling you that you need to break your products down, break your solutions down, break your tech down, especially for non-tech industries. I was wondering, I'm like, oh, why did they give me this topic? But if I talk about UX so much, why would I not be able to talk about UX in a product where nobody was expecting a gadget? Imagine a woman in labor. How do you expect her to come in quickly, like a process flow? She comes in, she takes in her name, you guys to take her data, blood work, and then you move her to that's a process. That is user experience. There's user experience every single way. And the moment you sit down to think about it, that you came through this door, there were people downstairs to register you, you came upstairs, you sat down, everything there was thought about. It was a process flow, and there was an experience that they wanted to give to you, and they gave it to you. The moment you think of user experience like that, you would understand that it is not that hard. You just have to plan it. Now, there are things that people do not understand. Now, I will say this because some people say, oh, is senior designer level, but nothing like that for this one. There's something called like an experience service. There's an environmental design, there's a process design, and there's communication design. Now, if you see these things that I've said, if you work with maybe a school, right, you need to understand that there's something called communication UX. If you have to stand in front of people, there's communication UX. One UX that I know that is so bad that we need to work on is when you go to the airport in Nigeria and you have to bend down your ear to hear your body. It is annoying. That is UX in a non-UX field. That you get there and they are like saying, body flight 232766 loading to Ibadan. You're not hearing anything, and you are in Nigeria. So automatically, I'm saying that the communication UX is bad. Or those women that somebody's in labor and they bring the woman in and there's one nurse I say, carry on, they go first. When you do them, you don't know. Not needful. You are laughing. But it's true, it's communication UX. I want to be in labor and come in and you're saying, softly, I will give birth again. You know, I want to come and you're saying softly, gently, don't hurt your legs. Oh, put your legs here. Oh, you know, the baby is coming very soon. I don't want to come in and you're saying, Madam, shift. You know, that kind of thing. You know, so we need to understand that there's user experience in every sector. And the moment we do that, you know, it's going to be easy. So another thing we need to also understand is process design. Process design is something that's helped me, even as a product designer, to understand that a user, whether using my product in person or on a tab or a phone or wherever, is going through a process. It's like my beautiful friend here, Rukaya, I want her to probably buy this two-piece for me, right? And then I send her the link, and the person says, impute email. She imputes. Impute password. She's not creating an account. She just wants to buy and go. Then they now ask her, how many do you want? Then I ask her, so before you know, she has done 17 clicks because she wants to buy two-piece. That's a process flop. I want to buy a two-piece. How many two-piece do I want to buy? What are the colors? There's a process flow currently that is wrong. If you want to buy this two-piece from a vendor, you have to add one two-piece to cart 7 times if you want to buy 7 different colors. Right? That's wrong. And meanwhile, people have solved this problem. But when you're telling someone that you need to understand process design, you need to understand that, you know, this is how the user wants to do it. How can we do this with the minimalist click? Nobody is listening to you. Everybody just wants to go to Dribble and copy design. God will help us. Then environmental design. This is designing for environment. There's a product currently, it's called Bank 78. And then when you come on the product, it gives you questions or it gives you interactions based on the IP address of where you are downloading that product from. So if you're downloading that product from Canada, it will do the whole Canada greeting. If you're downloading from, what's it called? Ibadan, it does the Cabo, Ekushe, how was work today? It gives you the local feel of, you know, where you're currently staying. And I think that's a very good environmental UX. Now, I know I'm taking so much of your time, but I'll just quickly wrap up. Before we go, I want to talk about one UX, right, that is so great. I think I talked about it earlier. When you're designing as a designer, whether junior, senior, mid-level, I need you to understand that an MVP is called minimum viable product. That is how your UX should be. Minimum viable product. How can someone in Zamfara use this product? You need to think. And I think my last slide says, last, UX is beyond common sense. Most of us have been rugged in user experience, thinking, oh, it's common sense. I think I should just put this button there. No, UX is not common sense. It's far beyond common sense. And if I'm to give you a cheat code today, it would be that you design for temperament. I just gave you a cheat code. And if you can take this whenever you're designing a fintech, edtech, health tech, design for temperament. The moment you do that, things will be easy for you. Thank you.